I'm gonna find me a place of promise, chasing the sun if I'm honest. When I be saying that all of my goals today have nothing to do with my goals for life. I'm chasing the sun and I'm living the truth.
Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood. It's early morning and I'm feeling good. The sun is shining on me like it should. I feel like I'm Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood. It's early morning and I'm feeling good. That sun is shining on me like it should. Ain't got no worries and I'm feeling good. Summer's on me like a backpack, I'm full of love and I'm feeling good. When I get the time, I'ma find a place where I settle down, get fertile ground. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy the summer. Dog days, no bummer. Poolside with a lover. I'm gonna find me a place, I promise. Chasing the sun if I'm honest. Wanna be singing that all of my goals today have nothing to do with my goals for life. I'm chasing the sun and I'm living a dream, you know what I mean? Celebrate the day. I'm Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood. It's early morning and I'm feeling good. The sun is shining on me like it should. I feel like I'm Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood. It's early morning and I'm feeling good. That's
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Welcome to the neighborhood. I'm rapfredrogers. My goal is to help artists grow and connect and level up in the live stream. So if any of y'all are listening along, I'll ask you to leave your 1 to 5 star rating as we go. 5 stars meaning you would actually add this to a playlist, download this, or share it with a friend. So as usual, we got our boy Guinness here with the special cans. Welcome to the neighborhood 888. What's happening, man? Good to see you guys. It's been a little while. See if we can get some love going. All right, so first up, we got Auntie Alex coming out of Oakland with Bussin raps and some visuals as well. Let's get it cracking. Yee!
I ain't letting you in, cause you's a vampire. Kill the beat and bring it right back, that mummy empire. Boy, I'm just busting raps. Boy, I'm just busting raps. Rolling them up like a truck without 4 tires. Nigga with a knife and I'm coming like Michael Myers. Boy, I'm just busting raps. Boy, I'm just busting raps. Keep the block, I'ma go ahead and get the guap. And niggas on the block, hit the seal, get your pockets fat. Fuck that, ain't no snakes in my fucking grass. Cutting heads up, cause these niggas know they hella foul. You hella whack, with no style like an ugly dyke. Put that mic down and go get you a fucking pad. Use a fucking drag, bitch, you got me cussing bad. If I was your daddy, beat your ass like I'm Joe Jack. New nigga, but I'm something like an old hat. And the type to run 2 niggas, and they know that. If I vomit in this bitch, it's a throwback. My brain passes torch through my thumb and tell it hold that. No doubt, you can call me the fireman. Somewhere in the cave, they don't wanna let me out, man. I devour men, go to war with Iron Man. Thanos with the gauntlet on my wrist, I don't need a pen.
Bunch of visuals here.
Pretty sure you feel the same, and get the fuck out of my face if you ain't feeling me. Niggas killing me in the way that they be shitting me. Tryna be the shit, you getting flushed down the toilet, B. I ain't letting you in, cause you's a vampire. Kill the beat and bring it right back, that mummy empire. Boy, I'm just busting raps. Boy, I'm just busting raps. Rolling them up like a truck without 4 tires. Nigga with a knife and I'm coming like Michael Myers. Boy, I'm just busting raps. Boy, I'm just busting raps.
Yee! Okay. Shout out to Auntie Alex. So I feel like this beat is solid. I feel like you have a good idea of song structure, which can take a while for some artists to figure out. During your verses, I feel like it becomes clear your voice is your strength. So that's a win. You have a professional sounding rap voice. I'm curious about the video. Did anyone help you make the video? Did you do any of the editing yourself? I think that's something that's often good to talk about and especially share experiences, since we will be trying to, level up as a group here. So that's interesting. Regarding the video, you're using a lot of effects. The strength of this is that it keeps the audience visually engaged with all these rapid edits and effects, so that's not bad. The danger, the pitfall, is having too many effects is often a turn off for some people. So I'm not sure how you guys feel about that in the chat. I'd be interested to get anyone else's feedback, so it's not just me. This is definitely more subjective how the visuals land. And we have a few other examples, so it'll be interesting as we go. I guess the real question is, would you have spent more time as a listener or less time if there was no video? Did this help you listen to the track more? That's really the test. So help me think about that. Usually almost any visuals will increase listener engagement. So, normally it's hard to mess up. So that's a win in general. So let's see. As far as the points go, voice is a strength. Originality, low. It's not like I haven't heard stuff like that before, but that's okay. Vocal effects and mixing were solid. I'd have to hear that again. So I'm curious if any of you guys, as always, any of the engineers or mixers or even producers in the chat, your feedback regarding the mixing is always valuable because it's not one of my strengths. And I'm not listening with headphones right now either. Lyrical content, this could be bars or subject matter, medium to low, but that's okay. Not everything has to be a lyrical miracle, right? Flow was solid and beat was solid. So I like that. So I would classify this as good formula. I have several classifications and that's considered a win, okay? So in general, if you got good formula going, then you just need to keep cranking them out. And often it's about quantity, and you'll eventually get some real hits because you already have a good formula. So this is strong. And I'd be curious how it would sound if you performed, as far as anything you could tweak, maybe performing the hook just a bit different to create some contrast between the verses and the hook a bit. That's just subjective feedback. I'd be curious if any of you guys have a 1 to 5 star rating for this. I feel like you could subtly change the timbre of your voice during the hook to make it just a bit more hyper energetic. It's worth experimenting with. Small changes there could go a long way. This is not a flaw. It's just something about brainstorming on how we could level up. And every song is different, so it's not like that kind of change necessarily needs to happen. Also, renting a better quality camera or finding a better quality camera can be very beneficial, just as far as the visual quality. This is not even about the edits or the effects. This is just about the standard quality. Try a Google search for renting camera equipment. The Bay has some really good options for pretty affordable camera equipment, actually. At least we did pre-COVID. Haven't checked as much recently. I've had some great experiences renting cameras, much more affordable than buying them, and I was very happy with the results. So I would encourage people who are continuing to level up with their visuals to check that out. Who's renting good equipment in their area? You can get all sorts of stuff. You can get different lenses, you can get sound equipment. It can be very helpful and relatively cheap. So yeah, I was happy with the results, and shout out to Laney College, man, in Oakland, in the town. A lot of really talented people have come out of Lady Fam, so I'm happy to see this, and yes, I will be giving preferential treatment to people from Oakland. I'll just tell you that right now, man. So thank you very much for that, Auntie Alex, man. That was cool. All right, let's do it moving. Let's see if there's anything in the chat before we move on real quick. Triple A saying, sounds like some UK drill. That's interesting. That's an interesting parallel I might not have thought about. Yeah, and you're getting a 3-star rating, so that's solid. That's a win. 3, 4, or 5 is a win. So let's do it moving. Next up, we got Yocki with Boogaloo. Let's check this out. Yeah. Maybe think about how these visuals might compare to the last. Yocki was on episode 1 of this season as well. Let's see what we got for the return.
I didn't announce on a key. Give me that shit, don't sell it. 24 showing ID. Baby face bitch sit on it like give me that liquor OD. This is my riff for all week. Smoking that quick, my chronic, I'm keeping the voices on me. I'm smoking that shit like daddy. I'm popping a skirt like Randy. Popping the pills like Eddie. Popping the pills like addicts. Give me the cup, lean. Down in this shit so savage, I mix it with green like cabbage, like fuck it, I'll leave. I'm killing the scene like Barry. Give me the rings like magic, like look at my girl, she mean. When I'm out in the streets and they're looking at me like buddy, wrong place, back alley, we back on the sheen. My dude, we got it, we fuck it up still. My hoe, she got it, eyes dripping and still. My shit, we thought it, we getting it real right. We get restarted when we getting the deal. My shit we mock, do you know that it kills? We party when we're making a meal. The party when we're reaching a meal, Mike. Blow off my lid, right, Mike. Ice on my teeth for a grow, my fight, right. If I lose, I'ma drop the bill, cash right. See me ooze, all the liquor from my past life and the boo. It's so sticky like a prime dime on the lures. Hope you're getting this from LimeWire, only views that I'm getting is a dying light under you. But you know I'm trying to die right, baby, you. Getting a feature off me like you and my friend, I ain't selling. This is a beat without me, like better fall back. I tell her she's taking them shots of venom and leave her outy. Give her a taste of Benny. Kept on my left side many, then leave her outy. Gave her the life flight entry, showed her the Maybach envy. I'm still about it. Yeah, I'm still about it. I'm still about it. Living with a slick ass semi, moving with a slick ass. Automatic, click it for your riff raff, then click it for your riff raff. I'm still about it. Yeah, I'm still about it. Yeah, still about it.
Yocki with Boogaloo, he's still about it. I like that one. That was nice. Yocki coming straight out of Transylvania. How many times can you say that's been the case? I believe you're staying in UK if I recall correctly. I could be wrong. But that's very interesting to me, that background, and I really like how unique and interesting of a sound that creates for you. So right off the bat, here's an example of some simple visuals. They don't try to do too much, but are definitely still interesting and engaging, right? I felt like that was keeping me going there. It's definitely way better than having nothing at all. Is that you driving? That's not you driving, Yocki. Is this Fast and the Furious Transylvania Drift? Is that what's going down? Oh, shit. We're going up to the castle, Dracula's castle and shit. My guess is you just ripped a cool drift video and used it for some quick visuals. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you're here right now. But I like it, though. I don't know why more people don't do simple stuff like this. It works, right? It's better than nothing for sure. And actually, the kind of nighttime setting kind of fits this track as well, which I like. That definitely worked for me. So, you know, beat slaps. Nothing too original beat-wise, but it has a nice atmosphere and ambiance to it. It's a nice aesthetic. It's very immersive and it sets the mood really well. I think that's matched by those visuals, those dark visuals. I really like your vocal delivery and the mixing on this as well. You use negative space, which we've talked about in the past. You use that quite well on this track. And you can tell there's a bit of an accent compared to like an American artist, but compared to a lot of international artists, it's very subtle. You might not even notice it if you're not listening close. I feel like that's a great combination of something that will be attractive to lots of different audiences. So, you know, this will cross over to American audiences as well, and UK audiences, perhaps also Transylvanian audiences, Vampire Squad. Still giving you enough of an edge to stand out, you know, just that touch of an accent, and be interesting and intriguing to rap fans. But it's not a turnoff like sometimes a heavy accent can be for American audiences, which unfortunately can be true, even though I support and enjoy hearing new and different things and different accents. I feel like this will bring people back to your music, you know, in general, this unique edge that you have. You know, the other thing that can happen for artists, international artists speaking English, is it can make your sound a bit niche. But I don't think that's happening here. So my assessment is my ranking, I can't find a flaw. It's one of my highest rankings. The voice, as far as going through the points, the voice is a strength. The originality, if it was just the beat, not so high, but I think the originality is leaning towards solid to higher, so that's good. I think it does have a cool original twist on it. Vocal effects and mixing sounded solid to me. Lyrical content, this could be bars or subject matter, solid, maybe solid to low, but that's okay. Not everyone's trying to do it. You don't have to hit everything, right? Flow was good, and a beat was good. I like the beat. So let's see what we see in the chat in a minute here. Triple A, thanks for the feedback, Triple A, man. It's nice not to just be talking to myself, talking about that kick is huge. I agree. He thought it was dope, the whole track. Visuals giving him anxiety, reminding him about an anime about drifting, but he's hitting you with the 4.5 stars. Wow, that's a win. That's a real win. So, Yocki's been on active on our Discord as well. We've been starting up a special community there to keep things going. So special shout out to you, Yocki, for that, and I'll throw the link in the chat just in case any of y'all are Discord minded and want to see what's going on out there. There's the Discord link in the chat. All right, so let's keep it moving. We got lots of good stuff today. All right, next up we got King Rich with Summertime Drip. Let's hear what King Rich got. Yee.
This my summertime drip, this that Simon Says, baby, follow my lips. Say that I'm the king, or I can spell it out rich. In my handwriting sloppy, cause the weight of my wrist. Whoa, this my summertime drip, this that Simon Says, baby, follow my lips. Say that I'm the king, I can spell it out rich. In the handwriting sloppy, cause the weight of my wrist. Whoa, I go, young nigga homicidal. Black rims, white paint, whip got rid of Lago. Tybo, kick you off the screen like I was playing Smash. Laser dot, always stay on point, just like a Brady pass. You couldn't box me in if I was like the Brady cast. I got bunches in my pockets, you won't catch me with no cash. And it won't matter if you started first, I still gon' finish last. Limbo cash, you hit my jack, you said King Rich, these niggas trash. And I'm like, fine, since you asked, I went in the booth, I came out with ash. Mask off, there ain't no way that I get sick of these niggas. Call my hitters to move them off the picture like it's Photoshop Adobe. High ground Kenobi, pipe down your wifey, you say that shit trophy. Funny now, cause I got 5 like I'm Kobe. I'm low key, like control buttons. You don't tote, you don't blow nothing. Shotty pump it up like it's Joe Buttons. This my summertime drip, this that Simon Says, baby, follow my lips. Say that I'm the king, or I can spell it out rich. In my handwriting sloppy, cause the weight of my wrist. Whoa, this my summertime drip, this that Simon Says, baby, follow my lips. Say that I'm the king, I can spell it out rich. In the handwriting sloppy, cause the weight of my wrist. Whoa, I see stars like a pokey dish. That's your girl, well, I don't regular. I come from the future, ain't no Percocets. Ain't no Molly, I get high whenever I sign the check. Steph, I feel like Steph Curry. I'm getting head on the gram, I feel like Jay Murray. Yeah, it's the magic stick, cause I'm a genie. She butt naked in the kitchen, cook a nigga tortellini. I left the crib before you see me. I seen the wrongs, call me Stevie. I left for stain up on the sheets, but you can frame it, it's graffiti. My flow, yeah, they say I'm that guy. You can't catch the wave and you capsize. Oh, cause this my summertime drip. This the Simon Says, baby, follow my lips. Say that I'm the king, or I can spell it out rich in the hand.
Yee! Shout out to King Rich with Summertime Drip. Just like Yocki, the previous artist, King Rich was on the same first episode of this season. And I know you sent this in a while ago, so thanks for being patient, fam. Really appreciate that. I like hearing this kind of sound from King Rich. I'm really interested by artists that make great music in all kinds of different subgenres. So King Rich is definitely showing that here, and I enjoy that. If anyone wants to hear what kind of different music, look up the last track that we played on that first episode of this season. It's quite different. As always, awesome rap voice, King Rich. Song structure wise, I like how you start with the hook right off the bat. It's a well-written, catchy hook. I like that. Nice lyrics with some of the sports references. You know, you got me with the Steph Curry reference as a Bay Area guy. We'll see how they do next year, man. It's going to be a very different season. We might actually have some healthy players. The overdub effect, I think the overdub you did around 45 seconds in, caught me as just a tad harsh. maybe lowering the volume on that ad-lib might help a bit with that. That's the only thing I could really point out. It's a small detail though. So going through the points, voice, awesome. Originality, lower than normal for you, but I mean that's going to be a trade-off, which is going to give you mass appeal audience. So that's good. It's good to have diversity in what your audiences are. Vocal effects and mixing sounds pretty good. Lyrical content, always got strong bars. So I think this one was hitting you with the sports references. Awesome. I thought it worked well. Flow was great as usual, and beat was solid. I do like that beat. Very contemporary. So that's cool. I would say this is my highest rating of really impressive. So well done there, man. I really like this one. Sounds professional to me. I also really like how you start the second verse with a different cadence. That creates great contrast and really helps keep the listener engaged. I feel like most people who rap on these kinds of beats only know how to emulate like a Migos flow, like that classic flow we've heard a lot about. That's fine, but I like to hear some diversity in flows. I think that's what's the next move after 10 years of trap. Get some innovation in flow. Some of your favorite artists do that well. So this is a good example of what playing with and switching up your flow can do for you for listener engagement. Great art. Fuck with that art. That art is tough. I also like how this is a nice and tight track, less than like 100 seconds long. It's like a minute and a half. That was perfect for this one. I feel like similar tracks that have like 3 verses or 4 minutes long and they don't really change up the production at any point. It doesn't really progress. It can feel too long and the listeners can stop being engaged. So really great example of that here. Well done. Let's see what we have in the chat. AAA hitting you with the 3 stars, saying pretty good. Didn't come after, not coming off as a hater. That's all good. We need everyone's feedback, man. All right, cool. Well, let's do it moving. We got plenty to hear today. Next up, we got Leon Vick with Contraband. Look at that art. Holy shit, I'm fucking with that off the bat. What you got, Leon?
There's
you
no
got a
place
commercial
for
me.
abuse or
See what we can do for that.
Bro, my dad's hard like 30 times. Shit kill my soul when it murder mine. Moving too fast, I don't see the signs. In the back room, all I see is lines. Just go by, I lose my mind. Built for this, I don't see my kind. 2 steps forward, I go right behind. 2 steps forward, I go right behind. 2 steps forward, and I'm back to my soul. 2 steps forward, and I'm back to my soul. You know how we do it, yo. Ay, ay. I hear you, man, bitch, I caught the rap back, so I'm back in a minute. I hear you, man, bitch, I caught the rap back, so I'm back in a minute. Mailing a packet, I made it a habit, now really the type to go get it. I used to count on the minutes, I had a hand of the tickets. Me and going, pull it to go-go, we had a hand of the business. For show dreams, I fucked it up, dawg, you gotta be kidding. Before the bag came from melodies, over these strippers. Over these strippers, watch how it gets.
Man, shout out to Leon Vick with Contraband. And July, welcome back. Welcome back to the neighborhood, man. Really appreciate you. If y'all don't know, our guy July helping out with the Discord, man. Been on the show as well and often provides very good feedback. So, appreciate you for being here. So, let's see how we feel about this one. Voice sounds kind of like Kendrick, huh? Lightweight, slight weight. It's very interesting. Caught my attention right away. I love the creative production on this. Tell me if you know a beat that sounds like that. The auto-tune parts also provide great contrast, in my opinion. I'm not always the biggest fan of auto-tune, but this is a great example of how to not overuse auto-tune and how it can still be used very creatively and effectively. Objectively, if there's anything to tweak in the mix, it might be lowering the volume a bit on those last 2 notes of the synth, starting around 42 seconds, I believe, of the hook. That's kind of nitpicking. It was fine. I don't think anything needs to be changed, honestly. Going through the points, voice was outstanding. Originality was extremely high. Vocal effects and mixing, pretty good. Lyrical content, this can be bars or subject matter, on the low side, but that's okay. This one's more about the swagger and the style and the steez. Flow was great. Beat was great. So that's pretty good, man. You're hitting all the different metrics. I would have to say this is my highest rating of really impressive. This sounds professional to me. If anything, it's too short. An original song like this might benefit from being extended with another iteration of the escalating synth hook and perhaps another verse and another hook. I don't know. Another Reddit user said the minute 43 second length is a bit short in their taste. One more chorus repeat would be better to make it longer. So I'm not the only one feeling that, which is interesting. If that's your issue, you're doing quite well. If you're leaving people wanting more, that's a win, bro. So, you know, not the worst issue to have. In general, short songs are nice. I actually prefer them, but when you're making something this interesting and engaging, you might end up losing some listeners by not giving them some more time to vibe with it, man. That's subjective feedback, though. Let's see what we got in the chat. July, solid 4. Okay, that's a win. Kick isn't quite hitting hard enough for them, so there might be some mixing feedback. Turning down the sub, clearing the muddiness would help. So, okay, something more with the production and mixing might be key. Hi-hat seems a bit hollow as well. Maybe add a different hat, layer it up, perhaps. Yeah, okay, all right. Always good to get different people's feedback on this stuff. I will say I was impressed with this one, and I checked out the project on Leon Vic's SoundCloud, so I linked the link there. Every track was dope, I have to say. So if you're feeling this, even if you check this out later on, go check out Do You See Something You Recognize? That's the title of this project. Might even have to post that project in the Discord and get some more feedback there too. It's our first show back in a minute, so we're just getting knocking off the dust and getting back into it. 888 talking about, I feel like there was a lot of work put into this, so solid 3 stars from them. Okay, you know, in general, the more original you go, the more it's gonna hit, you know, different people differently. But well done, Leon Vic. I enjoyed that one. That artwork is fucking amazing, so well done there. All right, next up we got Visa, produced by Riley Storms with Breath. Let's see what we got.
Man, come on home, man. One day it's gonna be you and God. You going up or you going down. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want no problem with my ops, I threw them grudge out. I got bigger fish to fry, I chill the fuck out. Wait, fuck all these races and I put that on my rep. Should've put a hole in you since you kneeling over neck. See, I'm black, it's automatic, you gon' cloak on that respect. 3rd degree is light work, how about you get that bitch to chair? Rest in peace, George Floyd, got the world making noise. I see fire in this city, time to spaz on these boys. My condolences to Steven Jackson. You lost a brother cause some crackers sorta need to put some hate in action. These racist practice only keep my people moving backwards. Y'all quit the looting, they ain't preaching what you practice. Remember it's your blackness you defending, not protecting. But I can't really blame you cause they taught you out of direction. Don't wanna riot but we out here dying cause you feel like burning shit today. Oh yeah, I feel you blood. Where the love at and where my thugs at? That's what they call you when you stand for something. But when your foot is on my neck, then what the fuck you trying to call that? Fall back, ain't no sorry about to solve that. Questioning my blackness cause the streets support my actions. But you do the same shit, the only difference you got badges, you got guns, you got backup. So you spazzing out on camera, bitch, you ain't scaring shit, you just a pussy ass cracker. And I put it on my gang, 392s when I'm in the booth. When I make you feel like black is worth it, just show me real. My mama probably tell me chill. Why you letting these emotions get your feeling overspilled? Starting to think that most my heroes ain't real. I can only vibe with Cole, he don't wait on shit to build. Man, I only got my soul, can't afford to let you kill. Only white is on my bones, I'm a black motherfucker and I'm proud of it. Why you got me on this pavement? I'm finna break. I just wanna pray, man. Baby, you gon' have to save me, I'm in the need. I just wanna breathe, man. Why you got me on this pavement? I finna breathe. I just wanna breathe, man. Baby, you gon' have to save me. I'm in the need. I just wanna breathe, man. I just wanna breathe, man. Baby, you gon' have to save me. I'm in the need. Yeah, why you got me on this pavement? I finna breathe. I just wanna breathe, man. Baby, you gon' have to save me. I'm in the need.
He did what?
This one's hella interesting to me, y'all. One thing that I immediately get grabbed by is how the song progresses and builds. And by like a minute 50, there's a whole nother like a layer that gets added in there. It's not quite a hook, but you get the female vocalist doing some singing and harmonizing in the background. Very interesting change right there. It was not super obvious, but it was very strong. I really like that. That really worked for me. I wasn't expecting that at that point in the track with only like 40 seconds left, right? Very interesting, cool song structure. So shout out to Visa, produced by Riley Storms. I'll get right to it. To me, this is really impressive. This is my highest rating. The voice was fantastic. Originality was solid. Vocal effects and mixing were good. Lyrical content as far as bars and subject matter, there were both. This is a dual threat. There were both bars and, of course, very interesting subject matter. We'll get more to that because that's obviously front and center for even why this song was created. Flow was great and beat was solid. I liked the beat a lot. It was very safe, very solid. So one of the major purposes of hip-hop is to document the world around us, right? And what's happening right now is history, y'all. We're going to look back on this in the history books. You know, the kids are going to be reading about this. So I expect to hear even more tracks like this in the coming months. We started this show, the first episode of the first season, right when the pandemic hit. So it was very interesting to see how, you know, the reflection of our lives has started to trickle into hip-hop. And, you know, honestly, it takes a while to create a song and polish it up and mix it and master it and promote it. So I think we're just starting to get to the point where we're starting to hear some of the reflections of our realities. You know, very interesting. And this was very professional to me. So, let's see what else we can say. There will always be some people who just want to use music to have fun. It's worth pointing that out. There's always going to be audiences that might find this like too political. Okay. I'm going to have to hit that with a grand fuck that. There's already enough music for those kind of people. So for the rest of us, we need something to reflect our feelings and help us cope with this historic atrocities that are happening right now. I really fuck with this, man. Even if you didn't speak English and you just listen to this, it's objectively a good track. And then once you get down into the subject matter, it can resonate quite well for a lot of us, you know. So I have to shout this out as a fantastic example of that. Question for songs in this kind of lane. How well is it pulling off what it's trying to do? That's the real test, okay? It's clear what this is trying to do. Let's measure how well it's trying to put it off. I'd be interested to look in the chat in a moment. To me, it's hitting every metric. I'm fucking with it. The beat provides an appropriate tone and atmosphere for this kind of content. I feel, you know, in general, it feels classic and timeless, but still contemporary. That's very hard to pull off, in my opinion. I feel like this will help this track age well. The voice of the artist is great, and I can really relate with how you're touching on these very emotionally charged subjects, but you don't overdo it. And I really want to point this out for a minute. Have any of y'all ever heard a track that feels a bit too preachy to the point where it's almost cringy when dealing with these kind of sensitive subjects? That's not happening here, okay? So hats off to you, Visa. I really appreciate reviewing this. I think as a culture we need more songs like this right now. Honestly, nice artwork. I really liked how the visuals were done. It was just a you know, kind of a filter above a picture, but it feels real. It feels visceral, and the movement effects that you have, the flickers and the static effects, they're not overdone, and they do keep me visually engaged more than just a picture. So very good balance there. Let's see what we have in the chat, man. Hey, Qwaint. Hey, welcome back. Welcome to the neighborhood. Saying lyrics 3 out of 5, beat selection 4.5 out of 5. Qwaint's talking about real lyrics, real content, right? Takes skill to write that way. Agreed. July is saying it was a 5, so perfect rating from July. That's not always easy to get. He didn't like the female singing. Okay. You don't think it matched the mix of the rest of the track. Okay, interesting. That's very different from how I felt. That's okay. That's good to know. Ending was a 4, so it didn't really change it too much, but interesting. 888 talking about song was great, solid beat, militant lyrics, 4 stars. Might be your highest rating. You gave it like a 4.5, I believe. Right up there. 888's liking the female singer. Okay. And then Qwaint's giving it a 4 overall as well. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool, guys. All right. Well, this was interesting. I definitely something different for us to listen to. So we're trying to cover as many different things as we can normally. So well done. All right. Next up, we have a quick Nipsey Hussle matchup from 888. Hey, it's your time, fam. Let's give 888 some love since he's been already checked in and giving us some good feedback. I think this is a quick one, but let's listen close. Here goes Nipsey Hussle mashup LA&Beyond.
Most West Coast shit, like I'm really on this shit. I tell this shit to everybody. I don't give a fuck, nigga.
West. Look, I'm fresh off the block, I ain't even really left yet. Best on the West, hands down, no question. And my Adidas got the Slauson boy etched in. And Black Sam keep the money invested. All I do is check rappers off the checklist. And I don't beef, I eat beef for breakfast. And I don't sleep cause these streets is hectic. I don't make peace, I just put them on my necklace. Real nigga never ran, never snitched. The old lady on 5th ain't raised no bitch. And we some real niggas, not like them niggas in your clique. Always running around talking about the little shit you did. We don't never say nothing about that big shit we did. We just see each other and nod and you know what it is. And we don't talk about the big shit we did. We just see each other and nod and you know what it is, nigga. Hustle. Yeah.
All right, so that was real quick, man. Shout out to you, 888. R.I.P. to Nipsey, man. Fuck, that still doesn't feel real to me, honestly. That's crazy. Like, that sounds like that could be like a new song or something. That's sad. I like the intro and how quickly it switches it up. That was cool. That was a nice touch. A lot of people might not have put that detail in there. I think it instantly kind of gets you kind of engaged and all in as a listener. This is one of those deconstructed beats that has next to no percussion. Kind of reminds me of like West Side Gun's newest project. I don't know if any of y'all have listened to the production on that. Many say, some of the best production of the year, if not the best. Kind of a new way of doing an old school thing. Also, some of the more like recent Pusha T tracks kind of do that as well with that kind of production. I feel like you kind of need to have like a nasally, high-pitched tone to your voice to maximize that kind of style over that kind of production. So it works great for like the Nipsey vocals, for example. Very good quick flip for sure, man. Really nice sample selection on this. Question of the day for the people in the chat. Did it leave you wanting more, right? Do you like the song length? Or would you have wanted like another Nipsey verse, right? That would be interesting. I always enjoy working in a cool mashup. So shout out to 888 for the dope flip, man. Let's see what we got, if anyone got you some feedback in the chat. Okay, so you're giving yourself 2 stars? That's a first. But let's see if we could use this as a learning experience. He says trying out Ableton for the first time. I think you might have been a bit harsh on yourself, dude. So July was kind of waiting for some drums to come in. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think that would have been a bad move. If you want to play with this and do another iteration of this, maybe try to see what happens with some drums hit. Qwaint would giving it the strong 3.5. Yeah. So yeah, to Qwaint's question, yeah. So 888 made the beat for this mashup over the Nipsey Hussle vocals. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then July says, the length could use some drums at the end to ride out. Yeah, I kind of like it without the drums though. This is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. It's going to be, drums are always going to get you some positive things, but I thought it kind of worked. So interesting. All right, man. Well, Triple A, stick around, man, if you can. We got some more. I would appreciate your feedback as we keep going here. So let's see who we got up next. We got Clu with Mr. Mellow. All right, let's hear what you got, Clu. We got some fire artwork today, y'all.
Sitting on the throne, focus on the keys, bounce like a xylophone. Cut the cord out, I still power the microphone. Staying here till the end, even when the high is gone. Magnify the visual, see the bigger picture. Swimming in the ocean, potions and liquor. Throat feeling itchy, finger on the trigger. Flow feeling fresh, make a polar bear shiver. Dip inside the pool, I've been feeling so cool. Following the plan, stay away from the rules. Unique and original, I text like the Sentinel. Mutate like X-Men, so don't make the pen explode. Stay in circulation, hold up your fitness, bro. 9 steps ahead of you, I really think you're in this slow. Getting mind and physical, stumbling over syllables. Looking at the visuals, everything's minuscule.
Bars, huh? Mellow right now.
Mellow man snoozing, mellow man's grooving. Mellow man in the meadow, feeling fine and cruising. Feeling so cool, peaceful like a haiku. Feeling so sure like the water in a typhoon. Freckles and pebbles that resemble the sand. On the low level, feel time slip through my hands. There's no other options, they popping like a can. Dr. Clark Kent to see who's the flyer man. Step into the booth, can I redeem my life of sin? Feel like someone's pulling strings on a violin. In this life I clutch it, costumes on a puppet. See through the facade, would you still trust it? See life through a prism, spin like kaleidoscope. Down to the cell, zoom in with the microscope. You are a reservoir full of recycle flows. Deeper than the ocean, why you let the fire go?
It makes me feel mellow. 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 It makes me feel mellow.
Feeling so mellow, the sunset looks yellow. Step on the pavement, but it feels like jello. Softer than expected, life has been hectic. Need to transform, potential to kinetic. I wreck it like a bulldozer, it's over. Cocking my slingshots, I'm loading a boulder. Feeling so restless, lonesome and sober. On my own in the zone, when is this day over? My eyes look like Mars traversed by a rover. Sunken, still bumping, smell the sweet Folgers. Jumpstart my motor, fix the transmission. Tap into Morse code, I think this man's slipping. Got to stay mellow, overcome anxiety. Sometimes I feel like society is trying me. Think till infinity, work to a high degree. Need to find the finer things my mind won't lie to me.
It makes me feel mellow. It makes me feel mellow.
This might be the first like classic 3-verse track we've covered today.
It makes me feel mellow. 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 It makes me feel mellow.
Are y'all feeling mellow? Did that get you in the mellow vibe? Shout out to Clu with Mr. Mellow. You clearly have a cool rap voice and real MC skills. Might be the first real example of that today. My apologies if I'm already forgetful. Nice lyrics for sure. I like the bars. And that can take a lot of time to develop as an artist, more time than people realize, I think, especially nowadays. It can be very refreshing to hear, I feel like. I love the beat, personally, and I really like the hook. Great collaboration with the singer there. Maybe getting some lightweight TDE vibes on this one, which would be quite the compliment to me. Let's go through the points. Voice was good, solid. I like it. Originality, medium, pretty good. Might have heard some stuff like that before. Vocal effects, I'd be interested in checking with the chat. I don't think I got a good assessment of that. They seemed at least okay. Lyrical content, the bars were pretty strong. A little bit of audience appeal with some subject matter. A little bit of a topic on this one. The topic would be being mellow and feeling that way. Flow was solid, and the beat was good. I like the beat. Definitely feel like I want to smoke some weed on that. Some songs are especially great when you're in an altered state, right? So that seems like that's what your artwork is not being too subtle about. I'm fucking with it. Let's see what we got in the chat. Oh, it looks like we got a decent amount of people talking about it, man. It's the most back and forth we've had thus far. So that's always a win. Qwaint says, reminds me of Time Flies by Groove Theory. Interesting. Triple A says, nice, listen on headphones. Has some feedback about the drums. So July says the drums are missing some low end. They're quite top heavy. And may just be him, but doesn't seem to be quantized or there's too much swing in them. The rest of the song is working for him, giving you a solid 4. So that's a great rating. We do a 5-star rating. And then AAA is, kind of going off that, saying, yeah, they're not quantized, but not bad. And then here we go, AAA saying might sound better with a little bit of tree. Yeah, man. So he's also complimenting you on your rap voice, which I have to agree is one of your strengths. Definitely getting a lot of feedback here. And there is Qwaint's pointing out there's a good atmosphere to this song, so it is immersive in that way. See what else, just trying to throw this out here. I guess I didn't get a good sense of the drums, so you're getting some definite feedback on that, and they might have been hitting too hard. Interesting. But look, let's see what you get. You got 4 stars from Qwaint as well. 4.2 from AAA. All right. We're getting some decimal points, making me do some math. I think this was a win, man. Well done, Clu. First time having you on here. I think this is a good example of, an artist is trying to do something different with each one of the tracks on this project. I did kind of sample around on the project there. So I want y'all to, I'm going to encourage you guys to check out that project. If you want to hear how an artist can do different things with different songs, the rest of the songs don't sound like this on this project. So I linked in the SoundCloud link. Maybe go and check that out. I do like that. This is an example of an artist who's trying to do something different to stand out. Not just chase the sounds that are hot today, right? So we might have to throw this up on the Discord as well. Let me drop in that link for any of y'all who are fucking with the Discord as we grow that community. All right, man, let's keep it moving. We're getting close to the halftime show. We got a whole nother slew of artists coming up later. Doing good so far. So here we go with Sin with Voodoo Vacation. That's some cool art too. Let's hear what we got. What you got, Sin? Quite jazzy flip on the sample already.
We're all guilty of playing with toys on occasion. Poised on a pedestal, I call it Voodoo Vacation. I watch the voyeuristic, I see the boy sadistic. He sweats over love shots, cinema box hits. Photo pit pages line his walls thick. It's showcase day, fake backstage tickets. A private plane sways as he waits and waits through security stations. His trip is a never-ending antissa. Lately he's been unreserved and curious, undeterred and furious at the slightest disturbance to his operations. His love is a silver screen turbulence, sweeping the world in filthy clean common sense. It's like a pink and he's chasing a vulture's neck. He won't get it yet, but he will when he meets his end in a prison sentence. Yes, he's convinced nobody beautiful ever hurts, and what's worse is each work of art ill-treat his curse. His disease and obsessives need whatever works. I speak from a smoke screen, I'm choking, I'm not a moral mess. Pretty please, my tongue's tied up in the ocean breeze. Everyone says things they don't mean. I swear my devotion doesn't flow so easily, unlike my words, but they deceive. Believe me, voodoo baby, flip the safety. 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 She isn't making eye contact, just love to a camera. She's got a string attached to every man around her. She's a heartthrob headache. Someone get into rehab for cardiac credit. Overspent on a roulette weekend. She was in town, one shot to take it. A fruity whirlwind of indecency, so close he could taste it. On show, her face glowed, angelic velvet voice flowed in ways that had his legs racing. He made his move, sealed his destiny or destination. Chest glued 5 feet down, lost a test of patience. Chin pressed underneath 200 pounds, hands cuffed in one fist, she didn't even turn around. But amidst the chaos, I swear I saw her look at me in the crowd. I always knew she loved me, oh I see it now, all what I found. I need to help myself to self-help pocketbooks before I drown. Keep my head out of the clouds. Believe me, voodoo baby, flip the safety. Believe me, voodoo baby, flip the safety. Believe me, voodoo baby, flip the safety. Believe me, voodoo baby, flip the safety.
Yee! I really like that, man. That was quite the vibe. I'm very curious to hear what you guys give that as a rating, because this is one of the more interesting and different sounding tracks we have so far. And again, to recap, 5 stars is our highest rating. That means I would actually download this, add it to a playlist, or share it with a friend. So shout out to Sin with Voodoo Vacation. I also like how you kind of have the actual sample listed in parentheses there. I feel like not enough people do that. That's quite cool. You're being open source with it. So Sin, you are clearly a great writer and a great lyricist. There's no going around that. That's front and center. For my experiences, that skill set paired with maintaining your hunger over time, which is where most people end up falling out the game, is what, keeps making, this is what is the best predictor for success in the rap game, those two elements. So you already have a lot of the hardest part of development behind you, in my opinion. So I definitely want to give you top marks for that. I love this jazzy beat. It got me right away. Very good sample. This is for the hip hop heads, right? For sure. So I personally really like your flow. It's going to be something that maybe not everyone loves. That's going to be maybe a hit or miss for people because it is unique. So, you do have that unique flow, and it's important to realize that, that will maybe not land for every audience. I do think that you shouldn't change your formula, however. I think this is a winning formula. Just keep cranking them out. I feel like people will come around. This is one of those ones where the more familiar you are with an artist, the more you're going to kind of enjoy some of those original things like the flow, for example. So as far as the points, the voice, great. Originality, pretty great within that kind of boom bap classic hip hop backpack style. Vocal effects and mixing, didn't get a great ear on that. They sound at least okay. Lyrical content, that can be bars or subject matter, great. One of the strongest ones we've had today. Great bars. The flow for me was cool. I like that flow. We'll check in with the chat and see what other people hear, and I really like the beat as well. I would classify this as a good formula. I think you have a winning recipe here. Keep them coming. You make 30 tracks, you're going to have several hits just by continuing to pop out new tracks. You do have this kind of monotone style with this atypical syllable delivery. And, that wins you a lot of points from people who like original and creative music. So for me, that's awesome. The challenge with this kind of monotone style and atypical syllable delivery, however, is to think about when creating contrast and energy and then delivery and switching it up a bit throughout the course of the song and the song structure might make sense. Okay, that's the challenge for anyone who has a style similar to that. And I would say oftentimes this is feedback I have to think about for myself, because I can often have too much of a monotone style sometimes, especially when you listen to an entire project. So there are, to be fair, plenty of monotone artists that succeed without changing their style, for sure, but it can be harder than you might imagine. Think about how much you might enjoy Earl's Sweatshirt and how much certain verses and features and tracks are so fucking good, but then think to yourself, how many times have I ran through a whole project from him back to front, right? Interesting. Across his whole career too, right? So that comparison comes to mind a bit if we're talking about leveling up. But, you know, I would say also another thing to point out is many successful monotone artists end up realizing this, and they come up with a different energy just for the hook, so it doesn't have to be something you change in your verse, or a good contrasting feature can really help break things up a bit and make it very refreshing when your style comes back. That can really help with listener engagement, especially for a whole project's worth of listening. You know, it never hurts to be more open to selecting different kinds of beats that, you know, if you're getting to the point where you're wanting to try something different. I don't think you have to jump into that right now. I've found personally that picking beats that have a very different energy from your average kind of beat that you feel like is your strong suit can be worth playing with. You don't have to release it if you don't like it. It can be a subtle way to break you out of some of your patterns of delivery that you naturally gravitate towards. Again, I'm just trying to give you an idea. I think everything you've done is great. Nothing needs to be changed. I'm heavily fucking with this song. I'm just trying to point out things that I've learned, you know, just in case, you know. So collaborating with other artists might really help with this kind of growth, you know. But dope art. I really like the art. It kind of fits the tone of the song quite well. Where are you from, Sin? I'm curious where you're from. That would be interesting to hear. Let's see what we have in the chat. So, July says the song is good. Might want to sidechain the drums to the vocals to give the vocals more space, making it easier to hear. Interesting. But you know, 888 saying right off the bat, this is the vibe. Qwaint saying he likes the way it's mixed. It complements your vocals. I feel like that's probably true. Quaint's giving you a perfect 5. That's very impressive. You're getting a 4.5 from July. That's basically perfect. 888 hitting you to 4.3. Hey, this might be the highest overall rated track thus far, guys. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. And then, yeah, 888 saying if you can listen to Earl, you can handle any kind of monotone flow. That's kind of why I brought that up. I don't think this is even close to that, honestly, but I'm just trying to talk about that, though. All right, well done, Sin. I really like this, man. We really appreciate having this. You know, awesome one. Thank you. All right, let's move it on. So we got one more before our halftime show. Here we go with the Bell Bros with Lovebirds. Emoji. About to get another beer for this one. Yee.
Tell me what you want, girl. Tell me what you want, girl. Tell me what you want, girl. Tell me what you want, Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want, girl. Please don't make me wonder. I've been thinking maybe we can snuggle like some lovebirds. Posted in the bed, watching Netflix on the covers. I've been thinking maybe we should do this every summer.
Tell me what you wishing for, and I grant it like a genie. Well, you said you think about it, then you tell me that you need me. I can be there in a second, I can be there in a flash. We can live a perfect present, and share a lovely past.
Tell me what you want, girl, please don't make me wonder. I've been thinking maybe we can snuggle like some lovebirds. Posted in the bed, watching Netflix on the covers. I've been thinking maybe we should do this every summer. I've been thinking maybe we should. Yeah, I've been thinking maybe we should. I've been thinking maybe we should. Yeah, I've been thinking maybe we should. Tell me what you want.
talking crazy.
Tell me what you want, girl, please don't make me wonder. I've been thinking maybe we can snuggle like some lovebirds. Supposed to be in bed watching Netflix on the covers. I've been thinking maybe we should do this every summer.
Shout out to Bell Bros with Lovebirds. You can see I'm always trying to mix in different subgenres. This might be in the more like kind of radio-friendly pop vein. I think it's always interesting to kind of test our abilities to assess things objectively like this as well. So wanted to try to find something like this, and this is quite interesting. Let's get into it. The hook really grows on you for sure. I like that. I think it really helps that your rap style is different and breaks up the song really well from your harmonizing style. So that way it's not just all harmonizing. If you didn't have that in those couple of key points, I think it could have gotten a bit old or repetitive. There's definitely some auto-tune used on this hook. It's pretty pronounced at the beginning and especially around the 1 minute 50-second mark. I really like that heavy layering of auto-tune at that point though, that 1 minute 50-second mark. It's actually very well done. I like the way that was more used as a moment to transition back into the hook as opposed to like throughout the whole song, which is often what happens with a lot of developing auto-tune effect driven artists. I also like how you put a creative twist on your harmonies here. I like that it doesn't just sound like a robot singing all the time. That can get a little tiresome for me. It sounds like you may be mixing some fairly naturalistic sounding vocals as the more primary layers for that harmonizing hook, and I love it. I do think that's quite unique if we're shouting out what this is doing relative to other tracks in this kind of subgenre. It sounds like an actual person is singing, and that's very unique nowadays and refreshing to hear, and it's done well. You know how to layer your vocals well and really fill out that chorus so that it's actually sounding like a chorus of people. Kind of hard to find people doing that well nowadays. I feel like it's a very underappreciated classic technique that requires you to actually have very good vocal range. So I think that's cool. A lot of artists don't develop that nowadays because they don't need to if they know how to use auto-tune correctly. I'm going through the points. Voice is your strength. Originality is medium to low, but that's because it's like a pop song. Nothing wrong with that. Vocal effects and mixing sounded pretty good. I think that was done. That's important, and that was done well. Lyrical content can be bars or subject matter. It's going to be low. It's a love song. That's fine. It's going to be something where you don't need to be very original there. That's good. The flow of your actual verses were solid to me, and the beat was solid. Definitely grows on you. So let's see how we're doing here. Yeah. Let's see what we got in the chat. We got some interesting feedback here. July saying, song is great. Snare and hi-hat are maybe a bit too sharp for him. So, you know, seems like July's always trying to give some sort of an idea of how to level up the mixing and the production, because that is a strength of his, and thank God, because it's not for mine. So just take that with a grain of salt. If there's anything to improve, seems like that might be something to consider. He's mentioning that a heavy semblance with the sound comes from the S's, so maybe like a de-esser might be helpful in the mix. Triple H says the verses are needed some more bass. Interesting. Okay. The bass only hit during the chorus. That's a, you know, choice that was made. I think it was fine for me, but that's interesting. Qwaint's giving it a 2, July a 4. So Triple H says it has that kind of garage band kind of vibe. So maybe it's, you know, kind of a very standard sounding song, sounds, nothing too original there. But Triple H is hitting it with the 4 stars. So if you can do that, you know, with nothing too original, that's impressive. And Qwaint saying he likes the way it was mixed. I think the mix was good, man. I think that was a strong suit. So well done, y'all. I think this was very interesting. All right, so I'm very excited for the second half of the show. I think the quality is going to be very high and hitting some kinds of subgenres and sounds we haven't heard yet. So I really encourage you guys to stick with it. We've always been trying to experiment with a little bit of a halftime show. I'll try to jump into that now. So let me scroll back up here. So what we have today for our hip hop knowledge drop, clap, clap, clap emoji, is a little something just about sales this year, since it has been a fucking weird year. Let's see how it compares to last year. Here's some information from the DJ Rob blog. Shout out to DJ Rob. I'll throw in the link over here if y'all want to follow along or check it out after the fact. You know, part of our game is to think about the business side, so let's do that a little bit. And this gives me a chance to switch things up so I don't have to just focus on DJing and you know, listening. So try to share some game. So yeah, so let's check this out. What's going on here is, you know, this is a actual pretty decent and not always easy to find list of all of the #1 hip hop albums of all time. This was updated a couple days ago. So as of now, there have been 219 #1 hip hop rap albums ever, according to the Billboard 200. First one being in March 1987 from the Beastie Boys. I wouldn't have thought that was the first ever album to go #1, Licensed to Ill. That's interesting to me. You know, if you think about who's buying records, it's not too surprising that Beastie Boys might have been the first ones. It's not always fair, but that's how it is. I mean, if you think about it, Eminem is the highest selling rapper of all time by far, but objectively, I don't think he has the best music, you know, but whatever. It is how it is, I guess. It's good to know who's buying these records, I suppose. And then most recently, Big Sean's album, Detroit 2. #1, the current #1, most recent #1 album. Okay, I don't know. I actually haven't heard that. Let me know in the chat if you guys have listened to that Big Sean album. Some people love him, some people hate him. So very interesting. Let's see what else we got here. We got a couple more pieces of info. So who has the most #1 albums? Now this doesn't mean the same as sales, right? Because you can have one #1 album that sells 200,000 units, depending on the month and the timing it came out, it just beat out everyone else. You can have another #1 album that went multi-platinum, right? So this is just looking at the number of #1 albums, and Jay-Z is by far ahead at #1, 4 #1s. He has 14 #1 albums. Fuck, that's pretty impressive, man. Eminem has 10. He outsold Jay-Z on those 10, but that's still a lot. And then Kanye and Drake are tied with 9 each. Who's going to win that in the long term? They're both going strong at this point. You know, Kanye's pissing on all these Grammys, but Drake ain't stopping no time soon. He might have to shit on a Grammy. We'll see. We'll see what happens to sales. And then Future got 7, which is pretty impressive because compared to the other artists on here, he hasn't been in the game as long. So that actually, he might outpace everyone if he keeps it going. He drops a lot. So Future might end up being the #1. I'm just going to skip ahead, and this is the list of all, in chronological order, all of the different #1 albums of all time. And I want to highlight just this year for a moment. So who was our #1? Here we go, 208. The first #1 album of this year. So this is, you know, Travis Scott Jack Boy's album. That's what started things off. This is pre-COVID. And then we got Eminem dropping Music to Be Murdered By in February, kind of right before the COVID thing. That was his 10th #1 album. Interesting. So longevity there. Lil Wayne with Funeral. I like that album. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I like the Funeral album. Lil Wayne is hit or miss for some people. We got Lil Baby with My Turn. Lil Uzi Vert with Eternal Take. We got DaBaby with Blame It on DaBaby. So DaBaby's been killing it the last couple years. A lot of people say he's like their #1 guy. We got Young Boy Never Broke Again with 38 Baby 2. Quite a name. Nav with Good Intentions. Future, High Off Life. Pop Smoke, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. That might be some of the coolest album cover there. I'm curious if you guys think that's the one so far. We got Juice WRLD with Legends Never Die, and then Big Sean with Detroit 2. Interesting. So just kind of covering some of those things for you. We'll get right into the second half of the show in a minute. A couple other quick follow-up stats. So there were 17 #1 albums in all of 2019, rap albums, for example. Through 3 business quarters, which is about where we are now, we've had 12 so far this year. So we're actually on the exact same pace as we were last year, believe it or not. This time last year, there were 12 #1 rap albums, and then there were 5 more by the time we hit New Year's. So rap is one of the only genres that has not been dramatically affected by COVID, believe it or not. That's interesting. Good to know, you know, how resilient that can be. Let's look at the #1 singles from this year, which is also kind of interesting. So here we go, just straight off Wikipedia. Got Arizona, Zervas with Roxanne, first one of the year. Roddy Ricch with The Box. Weeknd with Blinding Lights. Drake with Tootsie Slide. I don't really like that song, but, you know, whatever. It definitely was designed to make money. Drake got a whole team of people who know how to market that thing. Then we got Travis Scott and Kid Cudi with The Scotts. I fuck with that song heavy, man. I really like that one. Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj with Say So. She was killing it for a minute. Also had some interesting PR issues, but we'll see. Megan Thee Stallion with Beyonce, Savage. Woo, that's a good one. DaBaby with Rockstar. 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj with Trolls. I'm going to withhold my opinion on 6ix9ine for now. Maybe that could be a whole other show. Then we got DaBaby and Roddy Ricch teaming up. Two artists that already had number ones. Probably, you know, their labels were like, let's make another one, Rockstar. And then, of course, currently Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B with Wet Ass Pussy. Woo! So, you know, as far as that goes, we've had 12 number one songs this year, with Wet Ass Pussy being the most recent. This time last year, we only had 7 number one songs. So this is different than albums. That's actually a huge growth rate. It's like, I don't know, 80% growth or something. Ballpark. So quite interesting. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion with 2 number one hits so far. Also, the retired Nicki Minaj has 2 number one hits. And for the men, Roddy Ricch is the only dude with 2 number one hits. Interesting. So for comparison, this time last year, we only had 1 number one hit from the ladies. At this point, through 3 business quarters, and that was Truth Hurts by Lizzo. After that, Lizzo had several more to finish out the year, to be fair. And this time in 2018, we likewise only had 1 number one hit from the ladies, from Cardi B. So it seems like the ladies are starting to dominate the game this year, and I'm fucking with that. I really heavily am fucking with that. The rap game has been a boys' club for far too long. I think it's long overdue for the ladies to start taking over the game, personally. I'm trying to get as many on here as we can, see if we can break anybody. So anyways, that's what we got. Let's see, 888, never listened to the Big Sean album. I don't know if you're missing anything, personally. Yeah, Tootsie Slide was a dud. That was like the weakest Drake song ever. But if you are 11 years old and like to dance on TikTok, woohoo. All right, so whatever. Anyways, let's wrap up this show and get into the rest. Now, let's see. We got Qwaint coming up. You can start seeing the tabs I have lined up if you want to know when you're about to come up. So here we go. Qwaint, you've been in here for a minute giving us good feedback. Let's get to you, bruh. So here we go with Proper by Qwaint.
I'm in a moment that'll continue to thrive. Forget the labels and live beyond judgment. Echoes of life measured carefully, only reserved for goals. Even if pond scum reflects you learning the ropes. My heart beats decidedly move, discovered like the satisfaction buried underneath passion. Punks get electrified by advancements meant for big expansion. For the sake of growth, break a bone. All of the answers are there to take notice of. Clinging to nothing brought immediate struggle, so I let it go. Many frustrations protected me. We all got phobias to stomp over, put effort in. And maybe all you couldn't might the value. Like the mood swings every animal produces from reaction. Littered personality shape the journey I live. Metaphor shower effortless excellence. Maybe that concept flirts with escapism on a daily basis, like blue parades of human nature. I wanted to be a scientist, cultivating life lessons before realizing how foolish hearts get lost in iMessages and defense mechanisms. Speech impediments degenerated further. If I feel rugged, I throw a swift kick and snare. When the mess moves, take the seat like musical chairs. Outspoken opinions are what people notice from the good intentions. Driving sugar-coated motives for perfection means less than trying again. A new day develops on the size of regret, then a thing happens. We let it run until opinions I once held dear to me lose appeal, son. I've got a lot to conquest over. Even you might trade loneliness for a quick buck if it gets you healing. These old desires of world used to entertain my thoughts until I took the time to concentrate for fortifying my foundation. The elders spoke of how a lack of elaboration can be dangerous. If you want the best, then you've got support to open strong and elevate memory eventually for good. Other points of tomorrow. If you had it all figured out by now, how could your happiness flourish? The situations that shape shift keep your posture proper. So-called unavailabilities gave somebody a lot of weight. Participation with the changing horizon, bring safety and the light, making up for wasted time. It's the easiness that dabbles until catastrophe ushers how bad to the bone your stage of anatomy is. So get proper. Marching around like you're all that is the definition of a bother. You think it's generous how plentiful your problems are, but when they helicopter, your breath's an offensive odor. So get proper. You've got nothing to lose unless you're choosing to forget your own vitality in this mist.
I like that bass.
So get proper.
Man, if you're a hip hop head, you can listen to that beat and that sample all day long. Qwaint, I have some specific questions for you, so hang tight with me, man. So Qwaint was on here 2 episodes ago. Very cool, classic boom bap hip hop sample here, right? I believe in the chat we're even getting some comparisons to like a DJ Premier sample, which is, golly, the highest praise you could get. So got to give some shout out to however the hell you pronounce that. That's that producer. Shout out to you, bro. I'm not even gonna ruin your name right now. Anyways, so Qwaint, you have a real classic hip hop flow and delivery. Very solid lyricism on display. Perhaps one of the best examples. I liked you. I liked Sin so far. You know, how do y'all feel about the mixing? This is the question for Qwaint. Okay, so I feel like what was one of the big feedback points last time we played a track from you was the mixing. All right, so I'm trying to remember what we had at that time. Compared to last time, this sounds great. This sounds great. Did you end up getting a new mic, Qwaint? Or did you end up recording this in a different location or studio, perhaps? Because I remember last time you had a lot of the same fire delivery and lyricism, but you kind of had probably a low quality microphone where we couldn't hear some of the lower, like, kind of lower pitches in your voice that were kind of cut out, and you try to like use a little bit of like a static lo-fi kind of layer to cover that up. Compared to that, this sounds incredible. Maybe whoever did the mixing, the vocals could be relatively a tad higher. You know, you could use an ad limiter so you don't like max at any point, but it would be nice to bring the average level of those vocals up just a touch. I don't think it was bad though, but it maybe just because the mixing on the beat was kind of strong with the drums and the bass, I think maybe just a touch, if possible, might have been ideal. But well done. Let's go through the points. You know, voice, you got a good voice. Originality for this genre is high. So the subgenre of hip hop, I like it. It's original. It sounds good, man. I think we even have like an MF Doom comparison. Wow, you're getting some good comparisons, fam. This is hard to do in a lane that has so many hits in it already, right? So established. Vocal effects and mixing might not be perfect, but they're miles above what I recall you having last time. Lyrical content, you know, your bars are great. That's you know, I don't even think there's a hook on this, right? So that's what it's all about. Your flow is also great, and I enjoy this beat a lot personally. I'd have to say this is a good formula, man. You know, maybe the mixing is still keeping you from that can't find a flaw, you know, level, but let's see what else other people are saying in the chat. And it's cool to have you here, actually. You know, that's the main idea behind why we're doing this, is so we can kind of get feedback and check in with each other. So yeah, Triple A saying, yeah, voice could use a little bit better mixing, but the rapping is nice. Reminding him of some MF Doom. Wow. The cadence. So, okay, how you're delivering is interesting, even though your voice would be obviously like very different from Doom's. He's hitting you with the 4.2, bro. That's pretty good. Let's see what else we say. Same mic? Okay, well, something was done differently in the mix or whatever. Well done. There's a clear evidence of leveling up there, Qwaint, if you're using the same mic from before. July is shouting out, you know, anyone needing mixing, hit them up. Good to have people. I have someone handle my mixing. I don't trust myself with my own mixing, so I think that's good to do. Cool, man. All right, well done, dude. I'm glad to hear you. A follow-up track from you, and it was very enjoyable. So, also I like that art. I'm someone, actually, my main job is I study the brain, okay, as an academic. So this is right up my alley, right, with all these different emotions creeping around here, hitting them with the side eyes. What am I thinking? All right, so let's stay in this classic hip hop lane for a minute and kind of compare what we just heard to the next one. So this is always fun to do. We have some. We're going to follow up with a similar-ish subgenre. So here we go with 888 Moment, or 888 Moment, with Aliens featuring BigMike, and also some fire artwork as well. Goddamn. Try to come back real quick with this one.
Yeah. They got me tripping like I'm not that. The aliens are real, this is contact. They want my autograph on a contract. They didn't know that I'm the fucking boss, man. They got me tripping like I'm not that. The aliens are real, this is contact. They want my autograph on a contract. They didn't know that I'm the fucking boss, man. Channeling like Timmy Turner, change my number, need a burner. This your fucking notice, I'm Miami Vice. I don't need advice, you can hold this dick. I'ma still flow when I mold this shit, whoa. When the world tells you that you ain't great, go like Alexander. Address me as the GOAT or it's fucking slander. Told them this is war, meet your new commander. Faded off the bars, but I don't do Xanax, yeah. They got me tripping like I'm not that. The aliens are real, this is contact. They want my autograph on a contract. They didn't know that I'm the fucking boss, man. They got me tripping like I'm not that. The aliens are real, this is contact. They want my autograph on a contract. They didn't know that I'm the fucking boss, man. I was lost in my mind, I didn't know what I would find, so I stuck to the grind. Government is a lie, they want you all pacified. Consume until you fucking die, what's the reason to try? Hey, you got some dreams, so pursue that. That's the only reason that I do rap. I don't need designer fucking new bag. I be fucking wavy like a do-rag, who knew that? Just my fucking brothers and our beaut ass. They got me tripping like I'm not that. The aliens are real, this is contact. They want my autograph on a contract. They didn't know that I'm the fucking boss, man. They got me tripping like I'm not that. The aliens are real, this is contact. They want my autograph on a contract. They didn't know that I'm the fucking boss, man.
Yeah, we never settle in the par for living, finna moments often go a little off course. Waiting all these years, now we lifting up the bars for looking in the state. Took a second, it was all war. Till you find what is unidentified. Not a moment will go by. Constant contact on the grind. When you fight it, you defy. But the lesson found inside. When you follow all the signs and a piece will come to mind, then you take a second.
They got me tripping like I'm not that. The aliens are real, this is contact. They want my autograph on a contract. They didn't know that I'm the fucking boss, man. They got me tripping like I'm not that. The aliens are real, this is contact. They want my autograph on a contract. They didn't know that I'm the fucking boss, man.
All right, 888 Moment, 888 Moment, featuring BigMike. Sorry I dipped out on you. I had to get a little bit more of this here, but I was listening the whole time. And damn, man, I just got the profile of my beard and shit. I might have to hit up the barber shop. Anyways, we doing it big. So, what do we got here? We got some interesting notes. I'm curious what you guys have in the chat in a minute. I'm always a sucker for real lyrical horn samples. That is a lyrical instrument, and this is a great example of that, so I am liking it. The percussion is very simple, especially compared to the last track, for example. I feel like it works though. You know, it's trying not to compete with and be above and the horn sample. So it's trying to just kind of subtly complement that. So that's a different style. So it's kind of an apples and oranges type thing within this kind of hip hop subgenre. I'm not sure there's any flaws here. I might actually prefer the percussion on that last one, but to be fair, they are going for very different vibes, like we said. I feel like the hook really grows on you. I noticed that as it went along. At first, it was like, okay, this is smooth. And I was like, okay, starting to really bounce along to that as I started to go. Yeah, that was definitely cool. The more I hear the hook, the more I like it. You have a very cool rap voice, 888. That's a definite strength, and it shines on this kind of production. How do y'all feel about the feature by BigMike? I want to spend some time talking about that feature for a second. It was a pretty short feature. Might have been just like 8 bars, I believe. On the one hand, I like the contrast created by his like suddenly different rap voice. I think that's a strength. I feel like, you know, BigMike has a cool and complimentary voice to you, 888 moments. That provides good contrast. And I like BigMike's lyricism as well. But on the other hand, I feel like the track feels a bit unbalanced. Something about that just seemed kind of rushed or just tossed in here at the end. The short feature kind of just felt like it was thrown on there or tagged on there. Is there a reason BigMike didn't just go for a standard 16-bar verse? I feel like that might have been enough to kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me right now. This can be tricky when you're just feeling some subjective feelings. I could tell there was some kind of like distorting filter used over BigMike's vocals that was not used for the first artist. And I feel like that kind of worked for me, but it makes me wonder if that was used to mask a verse that may have been recorded on kind of a subpar microphone, or I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about the chat as far as the mixing on the second verse, or Big Mike's verse. Overall, I feel like this is definitely at least a good formula. Going through the points, voices for both artists were great. Originality was medium for this subgenre, but solid. I like the hook. It kind of elevated that originality a little bit. The vocal effects and the mixing seemed different between the two artists. I thought it was pretty solid for for the first artist. Lyrical content, bars. Again, this is another one where bars are kind of the real deal here. So very good. Flow was very good. I like the beat. All right, so that definitely worked for me. Let's see what we got in the chat. I'm very curious because I feel like I might have been a little more subjective on this one than objective. So let's see. Okay, Qwaint saying, which alien are you talking about? But flow was impressive. July saying the vocals are clear but a bit loud. They also need some reverb to settle into the rest of the track. Light reverb. So just a touch of that. Might want to bring up the original sample a touch. Solid 4 out of 5 from July. All right, that's really winning. So, okay, 888's agreeing about the sample feeling a bit low, but your drums are also low, so you'd have to probably raise both of those relatively. Like, it's interesting. That's a tricky one. Okay, let's see. At least there's some people kind of agreeing on that. So, okay, when you got two people kind of agreeing on, how there could be some ways to level up, that's a good sign, right? Inter-rater reliability. 888 saying it was the vibe, though. I feel like this is definitely trying to be about that vibe, and it succeeds in that way. So, Qwaint's hitting it with the 3, 888 with the 3.5. Cool track, but it could really feel like it could use a bit of love in the mix. Okay, all right. Interesting. So, let's do a move in here as we continue to go through things. Here we go with SEBASTIAN with Tempo. What y'all know about that Boondocks? Doing like the Obama Hope, but Boondocks version.
Hey, what's the reason? Popping off is my season. Bad hoe, she Puerto Rican. Battling my demons. Think a motherfuckers thinking they hot. Blow your nose, motherfucker, you snot. In the cut, trying to shoot my shot. In the kitchen, mixing up the pot. I just listen to what I've been taught. Never gonna quit, motherfucker, you thought. Chase the bag, fuck all these thoughts. When I smoke, man, I need a lot. Flicking my wrist with my left hand, man, I'm good for sis. View on my list, my chopper don't miss. Better yet, you can get hit with these fists. All of you rappers should be calling it quits. Fucking my songs, all I got is hits. You can get hit with the Mac today. You know that my niggas gon' trap today. Double team, you know I'm gon' fade away. Got labels checking my resume. Y'all cannot fuck with my throwaways. Got people bumping my throwaways. Y'all cannot fuck with me anyways. Grind in the booth like every day. Y'all cannot fuck with my verses. Y'all cannot fuck with my worst shit. I'm so high I can levitate. Rap game, you know I'ma dominate. Switching my flows like an alternate. Georgia State, I'ma graduate. Stay in my lane, I just concentrate. Going 90 on the interstate. I spoke up, then I meditate. Shoot my shot, never hesitate. Making your bitch go percolate. All of these hoes, man, they gravitate. Rap niggas, I humiliate. Rap niggas, I eliminate. Yeah. This that tempo, though. This that tempo. it's that tempo, bro. Hey, I don't give a fuck about what you gon' say. You better pray. I came to slay the pussy and give me some pay. Fucking these hoes better, I never pay. Eating your niggas like it's a buffet. SEBASTIAN, LA&Beyond, extending your bay. Pull up to my black man and you better spray. Get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck out of the way. Get the fuck out of my way. Bitch, you know I go insane. Bitch, you know I go in game. Charizard man, I breathe in flames. Little bitch, don't mispronounce my name. All of you niggas are sounding the same. Out here running the motherfucking game. Going for the crown, man, I got my own sound. You know I can put you 6 feet in the ground. All this pussy, I think I'ma drown. Eating my rice, you know that I'm brown. If I take an L, I'ma rebound. I'm the hottest motherfucker around. Am I gonna quit? That's a negative. All of this rap shit is real delicate. All of you rap niggas sensitive. We the people, I'm the executive. I'm just trying to start my own legacy while taking shots at the enemy. Smoking up tree, that's my remedy. Cooking up in a suit, got that recipe. Got a bad hoe and she ebony. She like to fuck on that ecstasy. I'm still trying to find my identity. Killing niggas with no empathy.
All right, Sebastian with tempo. I feel like for people who like this lane, this is going to be hitting very well. And then, you know, people who don't like this lane, it might feel different. Try to be objective here. So this is a very auto-tune and effect-driven track, but I'm fucking with it. Personally, the beat has some real cool progressions with the string flute layer dropping in and out. That was on display very clearly at the beginning of the song during the first verse. I also really like how the percussion drops out towards the end of the first verse, creating good contrast. Going through the points, the voice with the effects on it the whole time was solid for me. I like that. I think you did that well. Originality is medium. The percussion might push it up a little bit. Or I'm sorry, just the whole production of the beat might push that up a little bit. Vocal effects and mixing were well done for what this is trying to do. Lyrical content, bars, audience appeal, subject matter. This can be appealing to certain audiences for sure. I think the flow is your strength. You pull off that style that you are going for well, very well. I like that, and I really like the beat. I think it was a very wise beat selection choice. So, very cool. You know, your flow and cadence are on point here to me. This is a great example of how fitting into an established lane well can really work for you when you execute it well. It's definitely kind of more in the emulation lane than the origination lane, but that's okay. I don't think it matters. You know, if you think about it, that can be harder to pull off. You're competing with some top tier artists that people are familiar with. This sounds professional to me, and Sebastian is definitely putting in his own twist on things here, in my opinion. I feel like the beat selection has a lot to do with that, and to be honest, it's actually tricky to do. So, you know, you have to make mistake-free music and have perfect execution to hit this well, and I think you pulled it off, bro. I'm a fan. So shout out to Georgia State. Also, always cool to hear artists that are dual threats and also get that degree. Harder than ever, costs you more than ever. So, man, I always want to just say, you know, proud of you for that, man. That's dope. That's real dope. What's that degree in? You about to graduate. What's that degree in? Let us know. Drop a comment later on. I don't think you're here right now. You know, I enjoyed reviewing this one in general. It was nice to have a bit of contrast and hit this subgenre because we kind of haven't yet. So thank you for that. Let's see what we got in the chat. I'm very interested. I feel like this is going to be a very kind of different reaction depending on who's listening. So July is saying the cadence doesn't seem to fit the instrumental for him. Not really his personal favorite vibe. The rapping feels a bit out of sync for him. And the auto-tune needs to be tuned a little bit differently. But still giving it a 3, which is a win. We have a 5-star system. Triple Eight's asking, are you the rapper or the beat maker? I believe the rapper. I don't know who's producing this. There's no credit given. Correct me if I'm wrong later on. You can always drop a comment later on if you're watching this retroactively, Sebastian. But yeah, exactly. Qwaint saying, sounds like the things, fit the style for him. Not his favorite, so not giving it a great rating. All right, let's see what else we got. Lots of comments, though. Triple A saying the beat was nice. Maybe went for that Blueface vibe. Blueface is another one of those artists that people either love or hate, right? Interesting. I was very interested to hear how people react to this. So we can look through the comments more. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, as far as, you know, me listening to other songs in this subgenre, I think this was a win, man. I'm a fan. All right, let's keep it moving. So here we go. We got Bambino with Water Gun. A little something different here.
Yeah. It's Bambino, baby. Yo.
Catch me strapped with the water gun. 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 Yeah, I can tell you that I'm hard, but I'm soft. Could say that I'm in charge, but I'm lost. Could say I make moves like a boss. I got dreams like Frost, or I'm a king like Ross. But I got no Glock, won't hear gunshots. Got no op, won't find me pop. Got no man, won't find me dead. Got no leg, catch me in bay. I'm just out here having fun. That's why I'm always strapped with the water gun. Got your bitch wet, and I ain't talking cum. Yeah, liquidate, and I ain't talking funds. Yeah, my fit got drip, and my stick got drip. Yeah, my draw too quick, hell, I got him seasick. Can't see shit, cause I hit the bullseye. So I soup that hoe, now she fucking baptized. Yeah, I rise like the tide, ride waves on the sides. And watch while I glide on the water slide. Boy, I'm on your bitch mind, and she can't stay dry. Yeah, I'm in a splash on once I slip inside. Ooh, I feel like Rambo. Let's head to the beach, I need a reload. Got him sleeping with the fishes, that's soprano. Yeah, I'm trying to shoot my shot, can you handle? My artillery is fluid, fuck a Glock. Join the water revolution, got no street cred, but I still got a big head. Boy, my ego grows like Pinocchio's nose back. I'ma drown these clowns, I won't fool around. While the tides are down, I'ma be renowned. Call me Aquaman, yeah, I'm on demand. Feel like Bobby Flay with the pots and pans. Yeah, and I'm like Bradley Coops with the water. American sniping, and I'm fucking on your daughter. I'm a prince, not a papa, not a fighter. I'ma talk Nemo, H2O, yeah, that cannon fighter. Got no Glock, won't hear gunshots. Got no ops, won't find me pop. Got no man, won't find me dead. Got no leg, catch me in bay. I'm just out here having fun. That's why I'm always strapped with the water gun. Got your bitch wet, and I ain't talking cum. Yeah, I liquidate, and I ain't talking funds. Yeah, my fit got drip, and my stick got drip. Boy, my draw too quick, hell, I got him seasick. Can't see shit, cause I hit the bullseye. Super soup that hoe, now she fucking baptized, yeah. Strapped with the water gun. Get me strapped with the water gun. Get me strapped with the water gun. Get me strapped with that water gun, baby. Get me strapped with that water gun. Get me strapped with that water gun.
Catch him strapped. Bambino with Water Gun. I know you submitted this a couple episodes ago, so thank you for the patience. This sounds hella professional to me. Awesome rap voice, nice lyrics. I really like the original production. So catchy hook. This is really one of those hooks that I think can grow on you. That's how I feel, at least. Voice very strong. Originality pretty strong for this. You know, it's kind of, you know, one of those radio friendly things, but this is some pretty original production if we're going to be fair and honest. Vocal effects and mixing sound pretty good to me. Lyrical content, you know, bars, subject matter, you know, it's about the water gun. So I think it's very in its lane there. So solid. Flow is good. I like the flow, and I like the beat. I think the beat is a real strong point. It's pretty original. So actually, as well, if we're being fair, I enjoyed. I kind of skipped around and listened to the rest of this Water Gun album. It was awesome. It was awesome. I'm gonna encourage people to check out, if they're feeling this, the track called Parade. Very different. I'm fucking with that one heavy. You know, one of the more enjoyable projects I've heard this year, honestly, from people who we've reviewed. I thought it was a very well done project. Might have to post a link to this on our Discord as well. I guess I need to update, you know, the description below. I'll have a better version of the invite to our Discord hopefully soon. So I guess that's not working now. Check that out after the fact. You know, when I was listening to this project, there were no whack tracks to me. Every song also was trying to hit a different vibe, so I'm always a big fan of that. So I'm about to look into the chat out of curiosity here, because these last couple of tracks are fairly different from some of the songs we often listen to in this group. kind of test how we react to different things. But here's the question of the day. When it comes to you listening to different projects, do you think higher of a project if it avoids weak tracks, has no garbage filler tracks, or do you not mind a couple of weaker tracks as long as the album has really great highs, right? I've often thought about that difference, and I've always been someone who actually will just skip a bad track and I don't really discount it, and if there's only a couple of those, it's all good, and I really just like to listen to the best tracks, and if you hit really good highs, I'm going to be okay with lower lows. But I've actually noticed, I feel like a lot of people focus more on having bad tracks, and then that actually affects their opinion of the album. Seems to be the more common opinion of things. So I'm very curious about that in general. Let's go ahead and look at the chat here. So Qwaint says, vocals sound a bit loud compared to the beat. Don't usually listen to this kind of track, but it might be something to put on a playlist called New School Music. Okay, July says the mix might be hitting over 10 decibels. Okay, interesting. So it might be a little loud on the mix. Just needs to turn it down a bit to his ears, but he's giving it a 4 out of 5, which is a very good rating. Let's see. Qwaint style meshes well with the beat and presents a playful attitude. I think that's what it's going for, and I think it hits that well. Kind of funky in its own way. Totally agree. Yeah, kind of a cool party song. Then Qwaint's talking about the mix. Kind of sounds, which is kind of very polished, I suppose. Yeah, all right, not to be confused with clean. Qwaint's hitting it with a 3 out of 5. But also, AAA is talking about he can see a horde of females twerking to this, and that's not a bad thing if that's what you're going for. That pool party, that Vegas pool party, hitting it with the 3.8 stars from 888. Very interesting. And then, regarding what I was asking about, projects and what stands out to you, avoiding weak stuff versus just having really high highlights. Qwaint says he prefers quality over quantity. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, it seems like you guys are more in my vein where you're more okay with weaker tracks. You just skip over them and you don't necessarily drag down your opinion due to that. But to be fair, I think this Bambino album doesn't have any. It's a very interesting and very diverse album. So we'll post a link to that in the Discord later on. Check that out. Let's do it moving. Okay, so here goes something different. Here's Yocki with Middle Fingers. Tell me what y'all think about this. I'm very curious to hear your 1 to 5.
Bands I could still pull your bitch. Reminiscing, let me check your wish list. If I ain't on it, you'll be traded, you don't get extensions. I was vibing to your flow, feeling optimistic, but how you're going back and forth makes me feel suspicion. Cause when I call you to express my thoughts, you keep your distance, but come around when you want your pussy licked in. Why did you agree to my vision? You were so convincing, now inauthentic. Now it's time to give suspensions, because you only want the D-I-C-K attention. You let me on, but now I know your real intentions. Next time I'll be attentive, realistic with descriptions. I gotta let you go to find what I'm missing. Middle fingers to the one and done. Yeah, it was fun. Middle fingers till I find the right one. Since you only wanna have fun, so when you come, know it's middle fingers, cause you're not the right one. Middle fingers to the one and done. Yeah, it was fun. Middle fingers till I find the right one. Since I'm always fucking with the ones that only wanna come, I don't ever think I'll find the right one. Reminiscing, let me check the meter. I like the patience you display in your calm demeanor. Used to get the chills when we chill, but now I'm catching fevers, because your presence was so warm and now it's just a freezer. I used to notice how you rolled your eyes when I'm speaking, but see eye to eye when you want me deep in. You told me that we're perfect and you're happy that you took me, but I only hear you say it when I'm rubbing in your pussy. I see you only want the sex attention. You let me on, but now I know your real intentions. Next time I'll be attentive, next time I'll be descriptive. I gotta let you go to find what I'm missing. Middle fingers to the one and done. Yeah, it was fun. Middle fingers till I find the right one. Since you only wanna have fun, so when you come, know it's middle fingers, cause you're not the right one. Middle fingers to the one and done. Yeah, it was fun. Middle fingers till I find the right one. Since I'm always fucking with the ones that only wanna come, I don't ever think I'll find the right one.
Yocki.
We ain't had one sounding like this yet. I'm trying to play y'all something different. Okay, let's unpack this one. I'm excited for this. So I think it's a great beat choice for your rap voice. Straight up. I feel like not enough people learn that it's not just about having a great beat. It's about learning what kind of beats your style help to maximize. So I think this is a great example of that. Pretty unique beat compared to what we've played thus far. I love the unique production. Very cool, dark, ominous tones. Mild, like 3-6 Mafia vibes. The kicks hit hella hard. I think that's immediately clear. I love how the kicks drop in and out too. You kind of tease them and take them away, so when they come back, they hit especially hard again. It's very good song structure and creates great contrast for listener engagement. Really nice rhyme schemes. I want to point that out. It's not always about bars. These rhyme schemes are quite good. The hook is pretty amazing to me. The way the beat is deconstructed during the hook and then subtly reconstructed is a win. Very attention-grabbing, style there. Great layers of percussion here also. Makes you want to run it back, I feel, to me as a listener. But I also enjoy songs in this vein. I'm a 3-6 Mafia fan, for example. Maybe like a Suicide Boys or even some A$AP Rocky tracks as well, right? Might remind you of this production. So voice is very strong, but on the wrong beat, it might be a tricky thing. So this is a great match. Originality, I'm going to say, is pretty fucking high. Vocal effects and mixing sounded pretty good to me. Curious what y'all think in the chat. Lyrical content, bars, subject matter, medium. Nothing really great there, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be about that, right? Flow is pretty strong, and I like the beat a lot. Okay, so let's see what we got. I would classify this as really impressive, which is my highest rating. I think it's very good at what it's trying to do. I love that visual effect that you're using as well, that kind of color wipe. It's very simple, but very effective. I like the way it gives you a quick idea of how much longer the track is, kind of like how they do on SoundCloud, but in a different way. Taking the colors away and bringing them back. I fuck with that heavy. Also, you got a cool logo down there in the left corner. That's going to be something that might stick out in people's minds, and without even knowing it, if they see that again, they might be like, oh, let me hear this. That's pretty clever marketing, I'd have to say, not something a lot of other people do. Qwaint, talking about captivating title. So good marketing here. July says the mix is extremely well done, and hitting it with a 5, which is a perfect rating. So people are saying it's pretty good. Triple A hitting it with the no simping September type vibe. Yeah. He ain't paying no one for the OnlyFans. That's not happening. And also pointing out there's a bit introspective. It's not just, very simple layer. There's more depth to this song, subject matter-wise, than it might first feel like on the surface layers if you're not listening more than just casually. Qwaint says this is a song he would share, the occasion best served, give it a 4. So hitting it at 4 out of 5. Style was influential from the start. Also saying strong lyrics and beat. Triple A saying reminding him of Tyler. Yeah, Tyler the Creator. I could definitely get that comparison, right? So well done, man. This is definitely a win. Very highly rated by this community. Very cool. All right, awesome. So let's do it moving. We're in our final 3 tracks of the night. So we're almost done, man. We've been doing it moving. Got a good pace going here. Let's keep it going. So here we go with Trusc for Belong Here. Let's check this out.
Trusc. Yeah. 5 years I've been rapping, not a single cent, except $1.50 from that Spotify shit. 5 years I've been rapping and I had to spend $40 just to get onto Spotify shit. But my broke ass will do that for dreams of a future. I know that it's too bad, so dream on is useless. I'm dope ass, so screw that, I'll dream for my future. I hope now, got 2 plans, won't be long, I'll prove it. When you see me on a track, you know I belong here. If you see me on a graph, well you gotta go long here. See you in the future, Robert D. Long here. Since lockdown, just rocking the long hair. Post-apocalyptic rocking rhythms, got to listen as I'm dropping digits. Rock fucking with it, fucking clocking listens when you cocking near you're struck and shocked and laid it. Got the business, lock the lyrics, dodging critics, but I gotta top the limits. When you see me in the street, well you know I belong here. When you hear me on a beat, well you know I belong here. Got a lot to see, so follow along here. Gotta up my speed, not stopping for long here. Not a lot of dollars, not Hakuna Matata. Rather popping grey hairs, God I'm losing my father. Mother locked in bed stairs like a voodoo pajamas, but I'll die for my craft till they view me a martyr.
Ooh, a quick one. Okay, very interesting. I always like to try to get someone from the UK on here because I feel like it's a very bubbling scene and also very interesting and different. So Trusc, shout out to you, fam. Cool rap voice and super solid beat, right? Don Chev beat. I love how engaging and relatable your subject matter is. To be fair, this seems like a song targeted for other artists. So just good to point that out. You know, if you're not a rapper or another artist, you might not relate to this as much. But, you know, if you're not listening in depth, it still sounds like a good standalone song, even without thinking about the content subject matter. So the danger is it might not be as appealing to the average listener. Okay, sure. Let's just point that out. But, you know, shit. If I'm fucking with it, I'm still rocking the long hair after lockdown. Even at this point, I think I got like one haircut this year. I swear to God. I can really sense the feelings behind your frustration with Spotify. Very salient sentiments communicated effectively. Fuck, this grind can be such a bitch most of the time. Holler at me when you've been rapping for like 10 years and still ain't made no money, because that's my life. Broke as hell. I wasn't expecting the flow change at like 40 seconds in. It was very subtly different. It changed the whole way I look at the track, actually, when you hit that flow change. That's something we've been saying not enough people are doing. You know, be good at hitting the flow. Right now, flow is going to be more salient with people than lyrics, unlike the 90s. So that's good utilization of that for listener engagement. I like how you build kind of throughout the song. You know, you're building to that flow and you're surprising the listener with it as opposed to just gassing the whole time from the beginning, for example. So awesome song structure, very wise there. Let's go through the points. The voice is a strength to me. Originality is pretty medium or highish because of, you know, maybe the things that you are saying. Vocal effects and mixing sounded pretty good to me. Lyrical content, I think you got bars. I'm liking the bars here. There's also some subject matter, so a little bit of a dual threat there. Flow is great, one of the strengths, and the beat was pretty fucking good. I would classify this with can't find a flaw, one of my highest ratings. I really can't find a flaw. Where you from, Trusc? You out there in North England or what? I saw that there was no sunshine. Always curious about UK artists in general. I feel bad that this is like the worst time for y'all to tune in live, so hopefully you get a chance to check this out tomorrow or Sunday for you guys. I also want to shout out something about the video. So the color correction for these visuals was done pretty well. Very simple, but very effective. It's not always easy, especially if it's a cloudy day like it was. There's not a lot of great natural light. So considering those settings, I think it was especially well done. You know, for any of you guys interested in making visuals yourself, this is what a quality camera can do for you. So compared to some of the artists from the first half, I mean, it's clear that this is a very good camera in comparison, and that matters. I feel like this was all done in one take as well. That's perfect for a song of this length. You know, I feel like you could do the alternative side of the spectrum of splicing together a bunch of very rapid edits with a lot of effects. I think that would be kind of distracting for this kind of a song, for this kind of a subject matter, and would be kind of unnecessary. So I really like the way that was done. It's very simple, but it doesn't mean it's very easy. So the question is, like, how many takes did that take? I think that's informative for people curious to level up with their visuals. I feel like that's something a lot of artists could benefit from hearing. So drop us some info in the comments when you watch this later, Trusc. Also, nice eye contact with the camera, and good job not overdoing it with the hand gestures, which can be a turnoff and can be an issue. So that's something we give people feedback for in the past. Let's see what we got in the chat. Mixed well. July saying it's mixed well. Lyrics were lacking for him. He'd give it a 3.5. Qwaint's hitting it with a 2. So not huge things there yet. So he has a passion, 888. Big up for the passion. You're wondering if you won the contest that you entered. Let us know if you won the contest. And 888 saying he went to the UK once, came back depressed for the lack of sun. Man, it's not easy. All right. So cool. We're just throwing some different stuff at you. We got a couple more coming up. I'm about to take one quick break and then we're going to finish strong, y'all. So let's see. Yeah, we got 2 more coming up. So let me first give myself a break. We're going to finish strong. And here's something I've been wanting to play. Let's listen to some Bone Thugs, guys. I feel like we don't give enough love to some established artists. I feel like, tell me how well you feel like songs like this have aged. All right, that's a cool little quick. Thank you for a little minute there. I think Bone Thugs aged quite well personally. I think their flow and their beat selection would have done very well even today. They were the first thugs with Grammys. Shout out to Cleveland. Is that where you from, July? From Cleveland? I feel like they got some game, man. Don't sleep on Bone Thugs, y'all. All right, let's do it. Let's finish strong. We got 2 more. Here goes Doc Wop with Bottom Up.
You know Rory got the beat knocking.
Doc, I put that pretty tone inside it to the wop. And if you missing, got the cuz up on the drop. Like you know Rory, fuck that beat up with that knock. I clean it up like when my midways get the scuffs. Like on the videos I dream about it. Like ain't no handouts with the kid, no clouding. And now I'm bottom up like it's too loud. I fresh it up out when I cock it out and bounce. Drip drop like a melt pops, cop walks inside of the go hype beast like stock X. Doc gonna give it to you fresh in the mail, way back for the soul moving needed for this. Wearing my heart on my 80, this is sending the 12s, now I gotta collect. Baby, this ain't even half of my check. Placing my bits, kid, taking out the diamond SPs like skids. Put them on the gram, then I flip them kicks. Wearing at my freaks like kitty cat licks. Clearing at the stove like police. Chose these all over like it's logo acne. Post on the IG and Snapsy. Got me whiz like 7 on copy. Hoes what I know what I got like please. Bitch, you know I'm toe up. Throwing up the Nikes on the docket with the Pumas. Tossing up the L's on every grail like they was juicers. Calling in the rap that lays the bottom of my A1s. Bitch, you know I'm toe up. Throwing up the Nikes on the docket with the Pumas. Tossing up them L's on every grail like they was juicers. Calling in the rap that lifts the bottom of my A1s. Something about snakes and satins. Make a dog wanna get a bot like Ratchet. Taking a bounce like I'm on a tilt like Batshit. Hit me at the exchange, steam in a gasket, ayy. I ain't never rep Yeezys on Steve, so please don't at me, ayy. Kinda like a priest pass, I feed these jockeys. Not low-key, cop lime green sums. Get them on the dock with the vibration. Put them on the limelight, fiend that love. Put them back in the box and I sack more funds. Because
cause I'm on. I'm creeping releases like damn, now this really 2 G's, I ain't sleeping it on. The 8 a.m. wake up, I stay up until like I hit that refresh it alarm. Gotta be trashing voltage, ayy. Can't be sipping on postage, ayy. Too many kicks, I need flip, bit 'em up on the motherfucking sandwich. Take 'em blue, royal toes, mill on 2, scoop on those, fresh the page, damn it froze. Kinda like the ice I got bookmarked. When I come up, I'ma take it on full stop. I look for indies, what I crave like I crave industry. Stay heated like Cactus Jack in the back of functionalities. But I gave in the second I lost my sanity. Cause y'all know right now, y'all boy is out here still making hourly. Bitch, you know I'm Toa. Throwing up the Nikes on the docket with the Pumas. Tossing up the L's on every grail like they was juicers. Calling in the rap that lifts the bottom of my A1s. Bitch, you know I'm Toa. Throwing up the Nikes on the docket with the Pumas. Tossing up them L's on every grail like they was juicers. Calling in the rap that lifts the bottom of my A1s.
Who got those fire kicks on right now? Shout out to Doc Wop for Bottom Up. Doc Wop was also here 2 episodes ago. I feel like the beat slaps. It might not be for everyone. The flow switch after about 40 seconds was nice, kind of similar to the last track. Nice catchy hook. Good ad-libs. Ad-libs really added a lot to this. If you didn't have those layers, I think it would have been not great. I like the way you can play with your voice, Doc Wop. You do it creatively, and in moments it kind of reminds me of different artists at times. That can be good or bad depending on how you do it. The first moments of the first verse almost reminded me of some Big Crit for a second. The way you delivered things, your vocal tone, your timbre, the color of your voice. And the first moments of the second verse almost remind me of like some Eminem for a minute. Interesting. But only in a fleeting moment kind of a way, which I like. So you do a good job of avoiding any heavy emulation. Going through the points, your voice I think is strong. Originality, medium to low for this. That's okay. Vocal effects and mixing I think were solid. Lyrical content, bars or subject matter, probably medium to low. But again, this is trying to just be something you throw on in the whip. On a loud volume with a lot of bass. I think it's successful there. Your flow is what you're really going for here, and you achieve that. And I thought the beat was solid. I like the beat. I would say this is Can't Find a Flaw. There might be subjective differences here, but it's one of my highest ratings. I think it's very good at what it's trying to do. I also think the 3.5-minute song is the perfect length for this kind of a beat. It would get a bit too repetitive if the beat didn't switch up in any meaningful way. So well done there, not going for 3 verses. There's that Guinness. Let's see what we have in the chat. I'm very curious. Been trying to throw a bunch of different kind of sounds at our audience today. So July is giving some feedback about the kicks and songs like this with various bass, kind of highlighted. He's saying the kicks are non-existent, too low, or smushed under the sub, under that 808. So he's giving it a 3, maybe for that reason. It's interesting feedback. There also might just be some, subjectively, this genre is going to highlight 808s over kicks. So that might not actually be an objective flaw, but interesting to hear what people say. July says he's not mad at the producer, but the production style is not his favorite. Okay, that's fine. There are going to be other people who love this kind of a style. So Triple H says, sounds cool in the headphones. Qwaint says flow is nice, so that's what I was hearing too. He would have to listen to it multiple times to really hear what you are saying. That's kind of because you have a rapid-ish flow, but I think what you were saying was pretty good actually, better than the average person with this kind of a flow in my opinion, lyrically. And then Qwaint saying the delivery complements the style presented. Yeah, absolutely, hitting it with a 3. Triple H saying he can hear the verses better than the chorus. Interesting mixing point there. But people are liking the flow, man. Cool. All right, we got one more left, y'all. Let's finish strong. Appreciate everyone today. Really, really fucking with you guys, man. Thank you so much. It's cool not to be alone. So here goes rAIR with Grow, Motherfucker. That might be the number 1 title of the day. Master P hitting you with the make 'em say, Grow, motherfucker. Grow.
never any doubts in my mind because I'm the best in the world. Even though a lot of you don't like to hear it, it's fact. I'm the best. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't want to believe it myself, but it's the truth. I'm the best.
I am the greatest, the best. Latest to making the statement a test. Rapping on these beats, amazing, no gas. Rolling the paper, the plane, the jets. Little bit seasoned with time was ass. Superman on my chest, no ass. Like 2 chains, I say this out for the F. Fresh to death, cliche say, kicking it, baby. DJJ, next Friday, they say, you don't know baby D like that. You wouldn't say that shit. Shut the fuck up, you ain't have nothing kind to say. Try to be the type, find a way. One time for the fade away. Byron Dome, pass the kush down like a siren dome. Rotate, figure 8, bait. Will you bite with your might? Wait, take time in the fight. Don't use up all your gas. So fast, so fatal. From the cradle to the grave. Lay with a rhyme, but on time to get paid. When the sun comes to shade. Shadows, rattles through the time. Vibrates, he's shaking the wine. Get it, but can't relate to the wines. Everybody got a problem. Most got too many. Keep moving steady. Stay ready for Freddie and Jason. Adjacent, I'm hating, so I'm waiting. Go out and take it. It's out for the take. Go out and take it. It's out for the take.
I'm telling your ass to bro. Junior Monster, everybody, shut the fuck up. Now, there's some growing going on.
Command you to grow. I mean, that's a theme. That was an interesting sample. It almost reminded me of like some African music. I'd be curious where that came from. rAIR was featured on the last episode of last season of season 1. Man, this sample to me is so saucy. I'm fucking with it. I feel like I needed that by this point in the show. Just something different. I really like how unique of a vibe the sample creates. It might be a turnoff for some. It's very different. But to me, it was very cool. I like different shit. Very cool rap voice. That was clearly a strength of yours from last time. This is another of those tracks that's interesting enough where I actually might want more. Did y'all like the song length? It kind of depends on how much you vibe with that sample, I suppose. I feel like giving me a bit more to vibe with might actually be worth it. Adding a hook or an extra verse might be nice. I don't know. Maybe that sample would have gotten a bit too repetitive. So maybe it was right to end it where you did. Hard to say. It's definitely subjective feedback on that as far as like wanting more personally. As it stands, this would definitely serve well as an intro or an interlude. It was a nice short track, under 2 minutes. Points go, voice very strong, originality pretty fucking high. The percussion wasn't that different, but the sample was. Vocal effects, mixing seemed fine to me. Lyrical content, I think rAIR, you excel with good subject matter and always have strong bars. The flow was great on this one, really like that, and I'm a fan of this beat. I would classify this as Can't Find a Flaw, one of my highest ratings. This also might be perfect for a feature. You know, if we were gonna explore making it a bit longer, I think that a feature might be really good on this for a second verse. But you know, either way, thanks for sending that in. And sorry it took a minute to get to you. I really enjoyed reviewing this one overall. It's a great way to kind of end the show. And a nice Mike Tyson snippet at the beginning. Let's see what people say in the chat. Qwaint's wondering if the sample was jazz. 888 liked it a lot. You know, let's see what else we have. Oh, 888 has interesting feedback. Would like to hear those bells a little bit louder. I think that might have been cool, actually. That would be interesting to play with. You know, things like bells aren't very common nowadays, and I think there's a lot of room to bring that back in. I think that's becoming interesting and different. So, you know, let that happen. July's hitting with a solid 4. No flaws, nothing wrong. Qwaint with a 3, 888 with a 4.1. So well done, rAIR. Thank you for this one. I think it's cool. It shows some some diversity from what you had showed us in the past, which I really enjoy. So thank you for that. All right, y'all. Well, fuck, that's it. We did it. Time for me to go get a haircut. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. As usual, it's been an honor for me to review your work. I think everyone on here deserves more listens. You know, the question is, if I'd be curious if anyone ever actually blows up one day. That'd be hella cool. We've been doing a good job of covering artists. We got over 100, I think, so far this year. We still got another season left, I believe. This is probably the end of this season. You can continue to send your submissions to rapfredrogers@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Twitter at rapfredrogers. We had a big delay just with life finishing up this season, but we're going to get right back to it. 2 weeks from now, same time, same place. New season starts. Send me your tracks, y'all. Let's do it big. I think this fall is going to be quite lit. I have a feeling, man. A lot of music was made over that lockdown that's going to start surfacing. I'm quite curious. So, to leave, and that goes for me too. So, I'm about to leave y'all with a sneak peek for the next album I'm working on, a follow-up to my last album released earlier this year. This is Modern Problems 2 with Uncut Gems. What y'all know about that Uncut Gems? I'm about to leave you with this and ride out. Thank you for all y'all, man. Really heavily fuck with all the feedback. Knocked off the dust. Didn't have a ton of people here today, but y'all really made me very happy and gave me a lot of good feedback, y'all. So let me know. Drop a comment on this later on, man. Let me know give me some feedback. It's your turn to return the favor. So here we go with Uncut Gems. Peace.
Demon, we can leave it at that. Promethazine like to be seen with something lean in my lap. That's a feed and a fact. 3 stacks and fast sacks. Southern playalistic, different kind of outcast. This ain't no flash in the pan, this ain't no blast from the past. Time to beat them, leave them speechless with that heat in the back. With that heat in the back. Leave them speechless with that heat in the back. With that heat in the back. Leave them speechless with that heat in the back. Heat in the back. Heat in the back. Leave them speechless with that heat in the back. Heat in the back. Heat in the back. Leave them speechless with that heat in the back.